that Manchester United want to sign a midfielder this summer once they complete their attacking signings. We also know that Sekou Kone is very highly rated at Manchester United, but there's talk of him going out on loan. If Manchester United do sign a midfielder, this will allow him to go out on loan. They want an Eriksen replacement. And one of the players we have interest in is Nmecha of Dortmund. I think this is massively one to watch. There's been a big boost in regards to Antony sale, Real Betis getting the finances to complete the Antony move. But has there been a bit of a blow in regards to Bryan Mbeumo? Now, reports coming out that a Bryan Mbeumo bid has been rejected, but actually it's not been rejected. Brentford have just told Manchester United to put a few more add-ons on. Like, there's mixed reports coming out. David Ornstein said that it's below the valuation, but reports are saying it's not rejected. Brentford just want more. So is that rejected? Is that not rejected? Because we did have reliable reporters and good sources of information. Ben Jacobs has been spot on. Sully has been really credible with his reporting, suggesting that Manchester United were finalising the final deal in regards to add-ons, and then he can go for his medical next week. Has there been a blow? Is actually they're just working on the add-ons still? Like, what is this Mbeumo stuff? Because good journalists reported that there was essentially an agreement pending final details and add-ons. Is that what Brentford have rejected? They're not happy with the add-ons. What is the situation there? Actually, Brentford are looking at one of Manchester United's former academy players that we have a sell-on clause with. Could that even fund the add-ons itself? We'll talk about the latest on Sancho. Fenerbahce now maybe walking away from Jadon Sancho after his wage demands and preference to move to Juventus. But Juventus aren't going to give Sancho the wages he wants just yet. So, hello, and welcome back to Alice Talks Football, and welcome back to your late 10-minute Manchester United news, transfer news, and update roundup. In today's video, we're going to be rounding up all the news into 10 minutes for you guys. And let's start with news on Sekou Kone. So this has come out from Sully, but also other credible sources have said similar stuff. The Ineos-owned FC Lausanne, which is a Swiss team, have been in contact with Manchester United over a potential loan move for Sekou Kone. Several European teams in the race, but the Swiss Giants obviously in the lead because of the connections with Ineos. Now, Sekou Kone, wasn't he fantastic in the limited minutes he got on postseason tour? My mindset right now is, unless we sign a midfielder, keep Sekou Kone, because we might need him to come off the bench next season. He looked really good. I really like the look of Sekou Kone, but he would massively benefit from a loan. If we get a midfielder in the door, that is the midfield we want. We want to bring in a midfielder, and it's been said by top sources we want to bring in an athletic midfielder, someone that can cover ground, someone that's defensively good, maybe a defensive-minded number 8. Then obviously that allows Sekou Kone to go out on loan because he's not going to get as many opportunities as he would have. So Manchester United allowing Sekou Kone to go out on loan would mean a new midfielder is going in the door. So if we get a new midfielder in the door, we can allow him to go out on loan. And one of the midfielders we're looking at, and I'm going to tell you this now, we won't make a move for a midfielder until end of July. We're trying to wrap up Mbeumo, wrap up the striker, then we will go for a midfielder around the end of July. It might take a couple of weeks before we go for a midfielder, but one of them is Nmecha. We've been linked to him a couple of times before, and there was confirmation again today that Manchester United are interested in Nmecha. Now, what's really funny was I was actually talking about this guy in my live stream earlier today before this report came out, and I said in the past we were linked to Nmecha, haven't been recently, and then we get linked to Nmecha again, just as reports that we're looking at a midfielder is coming out. We like this guy. I like Nmecha. Good player, good price, good age, good physicality, good duel winner, not a good injury record. I don't want to Mason Mount 2.0. If Nmecha didn't have his injuries that he's had the last year, I'd be all happy for us going for Nmecha in midfield. I think he's the physical and athletic profile we need. I have concerns over his injury record. I think Felix Nmecha is a good player, good physical profile, good age. I think, Baleba would be great, but he's going to be way too expensive. I think Nmecha's great, but it's the injury record. But United are interested in him, and he fits the profile of midfielder we're interested in, which is athletic. And if we do sign him, or we do sign a midfielder, which we plan to do to replace Eriksen, that will open the door for Sekou Kone to go on loan. And as much as I kind of want to see Sekou Kone give an opportunity to United, I do think a loan will be beneficial for him. So, what is this big boost on Antony? Now, we know that Antony is willing to take a 30% wage cut to go to Real Betis, which is like 50k a week less. That was reported by Samuel Luckcutts. We know that Antony has turned on other clubs for Real Betis. Antony wants to move, Real Betis want to move, Man United want to move. Real Betis have been doing permanent deals, but not been giving Man United many offers because they are broke. Now, we know that Manchester United are just waiting for Real Betis to up their bid. There's an expectation they will, and the deal will be done. Interestingly, Real Betis have now just made around £50 million from the exits of Cardozo and Jesus Rodriguez. So they're now in a position where they can afford Antony. They can stop playing the we can't afford Antony card. You've made 50 million. Antony is going to be 30 to 35 million. I think when you've made 50 million, that is affordable, especially with him willing to take a wage cut. So I think this is a big boost because now Betis have the money to make the bid for Antony that we know that they want to make. Obviously, I think they're going to lowball their next bid, play United a little bit. I think United want 35 million. Betis want to do it for 25 million. I think we're going to see a deal done for around 30 million in the middle. I think they're going to try and lowball United a bit, but I think we could get some bids and some official movement of Antony soon because Man United are going to see Betis have made that money and say, hey, pay up, pay up, pay up. So let's get into the Mbeumo news because Ben Jacobs, Sully, and a lot of credible sources, even Rich Fay, had all suggested that there had been some kind of agreement, base agreement, but the add-ons still need to be agreed. But they said it's a base agreement. When the add-ons are agreed, Mbeumo's medical will be approved. So is this what David Ornstein's talking about, or has the bid been rejected? So Bryan Mbeumo has told Brentford and Tottenham he will only join United if he leaves Brentford this summer. Proposals of 45 plus 10 and 55 plus 7.5 is still short. He says the word's still short, not rejected, of Brentford's valuation, but the talks are ongoing. Tottenham also denying making any kind of offer. What did I say to you guys when that report came out that Tottenham made an offer? I said there's no way Daniel Levy has made that kind of offer. Brentford had put that out to try and scare Man United into paying more money. I've not been scared about Tottenham one bit. He's made it clear to Tottenham and to Brentford he only wants Manchester United. But our second bid, despite reports coming out that it had been agreed, is still short. Now, the reports that come out that said it was agreed, but they had to do some final details and add-ons before it was officially agreed. Is that the case? Well, Dawson said there are indications from Brentford that interested clubs will need to go beyond the 65 million mark to get a deal done. The price tag was 55 million. Man United came in. You saw what we paid for Cunha. You then wanted 60 million. We give you that. You now want 65 million. Let's be honest. If Manchester City were in for him, he would have gone for 55 million already, and it would have been a done deal. That's the annoying situation about it. But are Brentford taking the mick a bit? Because Brentford want at least the same fee Wolves received for Cunha up front before they agree to the sale of Mbeumo. Brentford are now saying, yeah, we're happy with the fee, 62.5 million. Okay, but they want more up front. So what the situation seems to be with Brentford is, because we got told they basically agreed the deal bar the add-ons, is they've agreed the price, but they want more up front and less in add-ons. They maybe want 60 million up front and 2.5 million in add-ons. That's what Brentford want, and that's what's being negotiated. Sully, who is a good source of information and said there was an agreement, did say this. He said Brentford, and he's doubling down on it, have a full agreement on a base fee, and they're finalising the add-ons. Medical and contract signing is planned for next week. Brentford are trying to squeeze a few extra million, and Mbeumo will be a United player. So Sully obviously said 2 days ago there had been an agreement. He's saying, look, there's still an agreement. They're just doing the final details on maybe debate on base fee and trying to get more money. They've got an agreement on base fee, but they're trying to do the final details on add-ons and get more money. So either they're saying they did what I said earlier, and maybe they want more up front, or maybe they want more in add-ons or more achievable add-ons. But Sully is saying, look, it's not that the bid has been outright rejected. It's that, this is the price. They're happy with that, but they want to talk about the add-ons. They want the add-ons to be done differently. They're not happy about that. But he's saying that Mbeumo will be a Manchester United player next week. They're just finalising details in regards to add-ons. Also, interestingly, Maxi Odeleyi is a Manchester United academy player that we sold to FC Warsaw, and Brentford are looking at him. Now, he has a €6 million release clause, which is literally nothing, but we have a 40% sell-on clause, which means we're going to receive maybe £2 million. If Brentford buy this guy for £6 million, we're going to see £1.5–2 million, which I guess we can use to help the Mbeumo add-ons and help fund Mbeumo, and that is pure profit. It's a shame we sold him for so cheap, Maxi. It's a shame we did, but maybe that can help our deal to an extent. Now, going into the final bit, I wanted to talk about Jadon Sancho. Now, sources in Turkey have confirmed that Mourinho did have a meeting with Sancho to see what his demands were. We know that Fenerbahce likes Sancho. There's now reports coming out from different sources that Fenerbahce are walking away from Sancho. Fenerbahce didn't make a formal offer. They tried to message Sancho again, but they failed to make progress when they followed up on Sancho. Napoli made an offer. Sancho rejected Napoli as it was 50% lower than his salary expectations was being reported. And Juventus are now in the mix. Sancho's preference is Juventus, but Juventus is still offering a salary that's too low. Right now we're in a position where only Fenerbahce can give Sancho the salary he wants, but Sancho doesn't want Fenerbahce. And Fenerbahce are fed up now. They know they're being paid for money. They don't want him. Basically, Sancho is trying to get a bigger wage package out of Juventus. Juventus do not want to do that. That is the problem. Sancho, whoever's advising him, needs to tell him to accept a lower wage and get out of United. He needs to do that. Will he do that? Probably not. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.